King Tut's cosmic dagger, the space metal that rewrote history. A journey through time with Historia. Part 1. The mysterious opening. Greetings, fellow time travelers. Welcome back to Historia, where we uncover the hidden mysteries of lost civilizations and dive deep into the secrets that shaped our world. Picture this moment with me. November 1922. The scorching Egyptian sun beats down on the Valley of the Kings. British archaeologist Howard Carter stands before a sealed doorway that hasn't been opened in 3,000 years. His hands are trembling. He doesn't know it yet, but he's about to crack open one of history's greatest mysteries. When Carter finally breaks through that ancient seal, what he discovers will baffle scientists for nearly a century. Golden chariots, elaborate thrones, embroidered robes, ceremonial staffs, enough jewelry to make any monarch weep with envy. But tucked among all this royal treasure is something that doesn't belong. Something small, something sleek, something that absolutely shouldn't be there. It's a dagger made of metal that didn't come from Earth. Part 2. The puzzle that haunted scientists. The question that changed everything. Here's where the mystery deepens, and this is where history gets truly mind-bending. King Tutankhamun died around 1323 BC. That's over 3,300 years ago. But here's the problem that kept archaeologists awake at night. The Iron Age, the era when humans figured out how to melt iron ore and forge tools from it, didn't even begin until roughly 1200 BC. Do you see the problem? We're talking about a 150-year gap. A teenager was buried with an iron dagger in a world that wouldn't invent iron tools for another century and a half. How was this possible? How did an Egyptian pharaoh possess technology that hadn't been invented yet? The answer lies not in Egypt, but in the heavens themselves. Part 3. Metal from the stars. Before smelting, there was what you might call the Space Iron Age. For thousands of years, humans watched the skies, waiting, wondering, and sometimes, something extraordinary happened. Something fell from the cosmos. Iron meteorites, massive chunks of space metal, rich in nickel and cobalt, crashed to Earth. And here's what will amaze you. Ancient peoples figured out how to turn this cosmic material into tools and weapons. Before anyone knew how to smelt iron from ore, master craftsmen had already learned to shape meteorite metal into cutlery. This wasn't simple work. This was mastery. This was innovation born from observation and ingenuity. So, before the Iron Age came what we might call the Space Iron Age. Part 4. Scientific Revelation. Now, let's fast forward to 2020. A team of researchers led by Takafumi Matsui from the Chiba Institute of Technology in Japan decided to investigate this cosmic mystery directly. They didn't just study old reports, they actually traveled to Cairo. Imagine this. Scientists arriving with portable scanning equipment, pointing high-tech instruments at an ancient dagger like interstellar detectives investigating a crime scene from the distant past. What they discovered was astounding. A chemical fingerprint written in the language of space itself. Iron laced with nickel and cobalt. Traces of chlorine and manganese. Strange, mysterious black spots composed of troilite, a sulfur-containing mineral that hitchhikes on iron meteorites. Most remarkably, the Widmanstätten pattern. The Widmanstätten pattern is a crosshatch structure that forms only when meteoritic iron cools very slowly in space. When you overheat it, this pattern vanishes forever. The blade bore traces of this pattern, which meant it was never heated beyond 1700 degrees Fahrenheit. The ancient craftsmen who created this blade didn't melt the meteorite down like later blacksmiths would. They developed a completely unique technique, a method specifically designed for shaping cosmic metal. Whoever made this dagger understood physics and metallurgy centuries before science had names for these disciplines. Part 5. The Mystery of the Master Craftsman. But here's where the investigation becomes even more intriguing. The team didn't stop at the blade. They examined the hilt, that ornate handle of gold inlaid with lapis lazuli, carnelian, and malachite. All typical materials of ancient Egypt, nothing surprising there. But then they discovered something extraordinary. The adhesive used to bond those precious stones to the golden handle was completely unusual for Egypt. Ancient Egyptian craftsmen typically used organic glue, sticky tree sap, or natural substances from animals. But Tut's space dagger, it was bonded with lime plaster, a mixture of sand, water, and calcium oxide. Here's the stunning part. Lime plaster didn't become common in Egypt until over 1,000 years later, during the Ptolemaic period, long after young Tutankhamun had been laid to rest. This raised an electrifying question. Who made this dagger? The scientists began to suspect the answer was shocking. Perhaps the Egyptians didn't make it at all. Part 6. The Diplomatic Connection. Ancient diplomacy, you know, was truly a gift from foreign masters. The only people known to be using lime plaster 3,300 years ago during King Tut's reign were the people from the north, the Mitanni and the Hittites, ancient civilizations whose names echo through biblical history. And, well, this is where the investigation led to an incredible discovery, the Amarna letters. These are 3,400-year-old clay tablets. Think of them, if you will, as the inbox of ancient Egyptian diplomats. Each tablet is correspondence between people of royal importance, discussing everything from trade to marriage alliances. Among these ancient messages is a letter from the king of Mitanni to Pharaoh Amenhotep III, King Tut's own grandfather. The subject? Wedding gifts. The Mitanni king had sent precious gifts to honour Amenhotep upon his marriage to a Mitanni princess. And among those wedding gifts was something extraordinary, a gold-sheathed iron dagger inlaid with genuine lapis lazuli. That, my friends, was the exact dagger found in Tutankhamun's tomb. Part 7. The Cosmic Heirloom. How a wedding gift became a pharaoh's treasure. Amazingly, this priceless artifact wasn't even created for King Tut himself. It was actually a diplomatic gift to his grandfather, a present from a foreign nation that, well, apparently had superior blacksmiths than Egypt itself. But here's the beautiful conclusion to our investigation. Matsui and his colleagues believe this blade passed down the royal line like a cosmic heirloom. It travelled through generations, held by successive pharaohs, each one recognizing its value and its uniqueness. Eventually, it reached the hands of the boy king himself, a teenager who ruled Egypt and, died at only 19 years old. This priceless wedding gift from the stars, worked by master craftsmen who understood metallurgy centuries ahead of their time, was buried with young Tutankhamun, resting in the Valley of the Kings, where it would sleep for over 3,000 years. A gift from the heavens. a treasure from the cosmos. A proof that ancient humans possess knowledge and skill we're only now beginning to truly understand. Part 8. The Deeper Mystery. What this tells us about ancient civilizations. This discovery forces us to completely rethink our understanding of ancient history. These weren't primitive peoples struggling to survive. These were sophisticated civilizations with master, craftsmen, international diplomacy and technological knowledge that honestly challenges our assumptions. The Mitanni didn't just happen to know how to work meteorite iron. They had studied it. They had experimented with it. They had developed specialized techniques passed down through their craftspeople. They had created something so remarkable that a pharaoh chose to be buried with it 3,000 years later. This single dagger tells us that the ancient world was far more interconnected than we imagined. That knowledge traveled between civilizations. That mastery was recognized and valued across borders. Before the Iron Age came something we might call the Cosmic Age, an era when humans looked to the stars and learned to shape the gifts that fell from them. Part 9. Invitation to Discovery. Join us on this incredible journey. So, fellow time travelers, what have we uncovered today? A meteoritic iron blade forged with techniques unknown to modern science. A hilt decorated with foreign materials and bonded with plaster that shouldn't exist in Egypt for another 1,000 years. A manufacturing process completely out of sync with Egypt's own technological timeline. And all of this connected to ancient diplomacy, international trade, and the shared knowledge of sophisticated ancient civilizations. This is exactly the kind of discovery that makes us realize how much we still have to learn about our world's ancient past. Here's my question for you. What do you think this reveals about ancient civilizations? How many other secrets are still buried in the sands of time, waiting to be discovered? Share your thoughts in the comments below. And if this journey through time amazed you, don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell. Because next time on Historia, we're heading to ancient Spain, where we'll uncover another cosmic mystery buried for 3,000 years. This is Historia, where history comes alive and ancient mysteries are finally revealed. Credits. This exclusive historical analysis comes from Historia, your gateway to the world's greatest archaeological mysteries. Based on research by Takafumi Matsui and the Chiba Institute of Technology, plus the Amarna Letters Archive and recent archaeological findings.